All right, that's it. Auntie's watched enough, and apparently now it's time for Auntie to speak on this. This, if you don't know, is my friend Joe, the older millennial. I have had the opportunity to make some incredible friends on this app. Many I have now had for years, and many of them I've never met in person. But I consider them very dear friends and family. Joe and I got the opportunity to meet this year. And one of those times was a place where everybody was intoxicated, but it felt like maybe it was just me and Joe who weren't. I don't drink. And just from being around him where everybody else is partying and whooping it up in a place that is open to whatever you wanted to do, I guess you could say, just a pool area, he seemed incredibly sober. And he and I got to know each other and chat. And again, we got a chance and opportunity multiple times to hang out and to talk. And I am here to tell you guys, although I am hearing, I don't care what I'm hearing because I know better. You don't listen, you watch. Anyone can tell you who they are, but they will show you every single day. And my opportunity to get to know Joe, he got a chance to show me who he was. And he is a stand-up, incredible man. We were in a place where there was just a bunch of influencers. And I can tell you firsthand from going to these situations and events, well, you can clearly and honestly ask Uncle Mike, who does not do social media, but he was able and capable of the past few years getting to witness events just like this firsthand. And every time we leave one of these events, he makes the comment, holy moly, that's just a lot of people fighting for the limelight now, isn't it? And although I love the majority of people that I get to hang out with, my husband isn't wrong. There are a lot of the influencers that will do a lot just to be the center of attention, but not Joe. Joe and not me. I always sit back. I'm the classy lady. That's what Uncle Mike says. That's cute. But no, I'm not going to fight for the limelight. I'm going to sit there, and if anybody approaches me, I'm going to love them, hug them, and get to know them for the rest of my life. And that is exactly what I saw with Joe as well. He is a very kind, humble, and quite frankly, a pretty quiet guy. And when I say quiet, I'm talking we're surrounded by a bunch of influencers. Like I said, he's humble. He's very down to earth, and he is real. I was highly impressed when I got to know Joe. So what we are not going to do, what we are not going to do is bully, bash, or berate an American veteran. We are not on my watch. I get it. As influencers, we set ourselves up for zero privacy. Our entire life, our current, past, and present, that's the same as current. Our future lives, well, like you see, nothing is private for us anymore. You have to have very thick skin as an influencer. And in situations just like this that Joe has found himself in, I'm here to tell you guys, I need you to listen to me, because thick skin, well, that's going to be the least of the things he's going to need to have. And that's just for the situation he's in. Let's talk about what this TikTok world is trying to do to him now. Joe is an American veteran. And I need you to hear me, and I need you to hear me loud and clear when I say this. Joe obviously, and I'm not certain if he has admitted it out loud or publicly, I don't know, but clearly he has a bit of an issue with alcohol. And although I am not speaking for Joe personally on this, I am going to speak as somebody myself who has struggled with that same demon very much so in my life. I was an alcoholic. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I was a bad one. And only until, by the grace of God, by the grace of my Father, by Yah, in 2018, I've become sober. I'm here to tell you guys that was one of those demons I didn't think I could ever beat by myself. No, I couldn't have. I tried and I tried and I failed and I failed. I stumbled and I fell. So many times I've lost count. I am the nicest, sweetest, lovingest person, but if you get to know people with alcoholism who are nice like me, but who have been traumatized in ways you don't want to know, who have been through things that humans just should not ever have to be put through by other humans and at other humans' hands. I am a survivor of 2 very volatile domestic violence situations, one of which multiple times would gear into the SA department as well. We're not going to talk about that. But on the note of SA, I have been raped twice. Once when I was 18 and once when I was 20. And the one when I was 20, I never even really talked about or told my own best friend because it was that bad. And I was hurt, humiliated, and very much ashamed. How funny, I just look over and see this. This is me and my beautiful baby Michael. This is my baby. My everything. That's my son. That's your auntie. Yeah. And I was 19 when this picture was taken. Yeah. You're right if you're doing the math. My beautiful son is 30 now, and thanks to 23andMe, we finally got the answer we probably all kind of knew. Or no, sorry, it was Ancestry.com. He didn't know until he was older, but I knew since he was born. You just have a way of, I guess, knowing that in your gut. When I was raped the second time, when I tell you I was humiliated, ashamed, and embarrassed, it is because, and I've talked about this a couple of times, very briefly, my ex from high school came back to visit from California, the nicest guy in the entire world. He and I had still never, not when we were dating in high school. He was kind, but he had changed. And I'll never know what kind of a role he played in this. But he picked me up one night and he said, let's go to a party. I miss you. Let's hang out. I had one drink, and I'm here to tell you back in those days, I was a drinker. Now remember, I had been raped 2 years prior, and I had already started onto my alcoholism trauma band-aid. I could drink like a man. And yet somehow halfway through my first drink, well, I guess I'll never know what happened really, and I'm pretty grateful for that. Because the next thing I knew, I had woken up on the floor surrounded by multiple men, multiple friends, men that I knew and I thought were my friends, with my ex sitting in the corner, fully dressed. I had been raped by multiple friends. Anywho, this video isn't about me. This video is about Joe. You see, life has a fucked up way of doing things to you. Sorry, God, sorry. And then alcohol has an even more effed up way of making you think it's going to numb it for a little bit, all of that pain. And before you know it, that demon sneaks up and it takes control of you, and it can cost you everything. And trust me, as an alcoholic who's recovering, I have zero want or need for alcohol in my life, really. I can tell you, in those moments of sobriety, especially the ones in the hangovers, the next morning when you wake up, like myself, thinking, oh, who did I text? Who do I need to apologize? What did I put on Facebook? Yeah, it's been that long since I drank. Because even though I'm the nicest person in this world, I am one of the most hurt persons in this world. And a hurt, nice person, when they are drunk, it's not always the best recipe. Because we can be mean. Anyways, in those moments of sobriety, trust and believe. If you think we have it bad, if you think we have a problem, you should understand, and you should know how we understand that. And how we are scared as hell that we'll never come out the other side. I quit drinking in 2018, but it wasn't me. It was all by the grace of God. Just one more of those testimonies. One day. That was it. I had given it to God, and one morning I woke up with no want or need at all, and it was gone. One more testimony that I can tell you I pray other people in this life can find. Somebody who began drinking at 14 and couldn't stop no matter how hard I tried until I was 42. I can't tell you how many of my friends or people I see, like my Joe, I pray to God. I pray God can help them like he did me. Because no one can get that demon out of their life, not in my opinion, without the help, the grace, and the glory of Yah. These are the reasons I was an alcoholic. These were my traumas that I, in my lifetime, needed to find some way to numb. These were the reasons I was an alcoholic. Joe is an American veteran. I cannot even imagine, I can't begin to imagine the reasons he wants to be numb himself. I have a dear friend who went into the Army and he never came back the same. I lost my friend when he left, because when he came back, I did not know him at all. Men and women in the service deserve way more respect than you're giving them. And I think it's funny that I see so many people, I will guarantee you, they say they have trauma in their lives. You know, the type that have really only, had mom tell them no once in a while. You know the type. Those are the ones that have victim, yet no actual trauma in their lives, but want all of our pity. They're the ones attacking my friend Joe. Let's not add unaliving tendencies to my dear friend Joe's list of issues. Because I can tell you, as an alcoholic in a situation like this, because I'm going to guarantee you by the level of hate that I am seeing others spew at him, simply because they have a different political view, is the type of hate that could cause that demon of alcoholism to look like nothing compared to the demon, the kind that whispers things like unalive yourself. You might cause him to have